Hello, or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are and when you are, which is my usual thing that I say. I thought I'd try out a little experiment. This is a gentle healing meditation to unwind overthinking and allow a quiet reset. It's just going to be a short 15-minute thing that if you're watching live, then you can enjoy live right now. But it'll be recorded and available at this link, which hopefully you can see if you're watching it now, for you to come back to and just do any time you feel like you need to. I don't want to say too much else other than for us to dive right into it, if that's okay with you. So I had to say something to start off with, didn't I? How do we unwind? How do we unwind overthinking? How do we do a quiet reset? How do we do it quickly? How can we do it in 15 minutes? Well, I'm always going to come back to the same set of things that actually, once you know what they are very simple to do. The biggest hurdle is remembering what they are when you're in that situation where you are overthinking. You know, if you're like myself, you have a busy job which involves a lot of thinking in order to get the things done that need doing and make the right decisions at the right times. At the end of the day, when you get home, or even actually when you're taking a break, your mind is still spinning. But when you're taking a break, you've no longer got anything to think about. You've no longer got anything to decide. And so it tends to latch on to things and gets you into a bit of a state, or at least for me. And while that's happening, it's then difficult to remember, oh, okay, this is now my downtime. I can do the right things to unwind. But I think eventually over time, you remember. And certainly I do. And things like this can help. So let's just give it a go. If you're standing up, then stand up in a nice upright position. If you're sat down, then sit in a nice upright position. Best to do it with your bum towards the edge of your seat, which is what I'm shifting myself towards now. And have a slight forward incline at the pelvis so that you can bring some of your weight into your feet and push through the feet so that you can then really help get that good starting posture. As you go through the meditation, you can start to forget about that, whether you mean to or not, and that's okay. But if you start off in a good place, then when you finish, it's not as bad a place as it would have been if you hadn't have done that. And then just bring the head back on top of the shoulders. Bring it right back and try and lift the top of the head up. And then allow your eyelids to close over your eyes. Not tight, just nice and gentle. In fact, one thing that I like to do is to not fully close them so that you've just got a tiny gap. You can't see anything, but it's just letting a little bit of extra light through. That way you know that they're just relaxed over the eyes and there's no tension there in the eyes. You want to try and lose all the tension, all the physical tension, whilst still holding this posture, yeah? And then you'll find that you are in a place or posture, a state, to start really beginning to allow this overthinking to unwind. And the thoughts start to slow down a little bit. But we can help them further. The trick is to find the place where our natural thinking if natural thinking can have one, believes that the thinking comes from. Your awareness of your thinking, of your thoughts, kind of assumes that the thinking comes from somewhere in the head, the center of the head. So you can spend a few moments then trying to find that place. The image that I'm getting in my mind now is this idea of, in a fish tank, there's a bubbler that oxygenates the water, and that you can imagine that your thoughts are like those bubbles, and they're bubbling up or out of this place where the bubbler is. So your bubbler is somewhere in the center of your head, and you need to find it. Well, you don't need to find it. What you need to do is to try to find it. I think that's the key. Success is in the trying and not in the actual finding. So you're just bringing your awareness, you're trying to focus your entire self, your entire awareness, into as small a point as you can. Maybe the size of a marble, or a small ball bearing, or bead, or a grain of sand if you can manage it. Really, really bring it in tight. And just hold it there. And again, hopefully a greater sense of stillness, silence will wash over you. So it might seem a bit strange to see somebody on a video with their eyes closed. So I need to explain that. I'm doing this too, yeah? I'm going to that place too, so that I can guide you. So see if you can find that place. And remember, it's not the success in finding it that matters. It's the success in trying to find it. And I think we've done two. Maybe we've done more, but I'm assuming that we've done two pieces. There's a third piece to this, not really a puzzle, but set of instructions. And that is to allow your state of consciousness to, well, how do we say it really? To sink down, I suppose, or to soften down. Down seems to be the right word. And to just get that instruction, let your state of consciousness become more quiet. It's kind of like folding in on itself, it's saying, do the thing that you need to do to achieve that, without telling you what the thing is that you need to do. The trick is, there's many tricks actually, but the trick that I like to use, is thinking of it as in terms of awakeness and asleepness. And you want to be halfway between what you might say normal awakeness, normal alertness. You can still be more alert than normal alertness, and you can be less alert than normal alertness and still be awake. But we want to go below that, towards asleep, but not actually asleep. And the analogy then is, I'm sure you've had a time when you've been asleep, having a nice dream, and something's woken you up. Maybe the radio clock alarm went off, and some DJ woke you up. Or maybe, as a child, your parent or guardian came into your room to wake you up for school. But you're having a really good dream. I don't know what it might be. Maybe the sun's shining and you're on the beach and playing a game with your friends. or paddling in the sea, or maybe you're strolling through the woods, or maybe you've met somebody new that you really like, or somebody old that you really like, and you're having a deep conversation and they're about to tell you something that's really important or really interesting, and then whatever the thing was that woke you up. But you're so intent on letting that dream unfold, letting it finish, that you're really trying really hard to stay in the dream. And it's almost like you're straddling the dream and the real world. And that's the place you need to be. The difference, though, is that from where we are now, we need to go down towards sleep. Whereas in that scenario, you are already in sleep and you're moving towards awake. It's much easier to find this place once you've done all that setup, once you've sat upright, brought your head on top of your shoulders, relaxed your eyelids, found the centre of your mind. So just allow your awakeness, your alertness, to quieten down. Just moving down, keeping the breathing normal, keeping the posture the same. And we're going to rest there for a while and try and find this place, because it does take some time, I think. And again, it's not the success that matters. What matters is the trying. It's just holding your awareness, your spatial awareness in the centre of your head, and shifting your alertness to a lower level. And I'm going to go quiet. And I expect that you probably don't want to watch me being quiet and still with my eyes closed. Of course, if you've got your eyes closed, then you can't anyway. But I'm just going to switch over to the flowers, the blossoms again, on the screen. Just to let you know that I'm still here. We'll have that there. And we'll go quiet for a bit. And when it's time to come back, I'll bring my video back and start talking again. Okay, so slowly, just first of all keeping your eyelids closed, just allowing your state to gradually come out of that halfway place between asleep and awake, more and more towards awake, more aware of your surroundings even though you can't see them. And to help that awareness, still keeping your eyes closed, just allow that point of awareness in the centre of your head. Do you remember? Allow that to start growing. Maybe it becomes the size of a golf ball. Grows and grows until it fills your head, and you can feel, you're aware of the outer surface of your head, the skin. You can feel your hair in your skin. You can feel your ears. You can feel your eyeballs behind your eyelids. Your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your tongue, everything in your head. Become fully aware of it. And then let that awareness grow even more so that it goes down the neck. You can feel the outside of your neck, the back, the front, the sides, underneath your ears, across the shoulders, down the arms, all the way down to the tips of the fingers. All the way down the torso, through the chest, through all your ribs, everything in that area, right the way out to the surface of the skin, right the way down the body, through the abdomen, through the hips, through the legs, the knees, the ankles, your feet, right the way down to the tips of your toes. Everything. Of course, you don't have that intensity now because you've got a lot more to be aware of. But nevertheless, you're aware of it all. And that's your cue, that's your signal to start to open the eyelids. Just slowly, let the eyelids gradually open. Until you're back to the here and now. Maybe you might want to move around a little bit, maybe move the shoulders, bit of a shoulder rotation, bit of a shift around if you sat down, or indeed if you're standing up, a bit of a shift around. Maybe a shake, just so that you're properly conscious, properly back to here and now, and ready to carry on with the rest of your day, whatever it was that you were doing. And that's it really. That is it in a nutshell. All you need to do is remember to do it in those moments when you have time for a short break. And we're actually only in for a couple of minutes. There's a lot of time me explaining the process, which once you know what the process is, doesn't take very long to do. And so you can actually get quite a refreshing meditation in a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll just take a 5-minute break when I'm at work, go and sit in the canteen, just allow my eyelids to close and just do that process with a little timer running that will beep at me when it's time to come out of it again. And that's it. That's all it takes really to get this gentle healing meditation that will unwind overthinking and allow a quiet reset so that you're refreshed and ready to take on the rest of the day. Thank you very much for either watching live or joining and looking at the recording. And if you're interested in doing more, then I am now running a monthly online gentle healing meditation that's live. So it's not on YouTube. It will be on Google Meet, actually, to begin with. That's what I'm going to be playing with. And if you look at the description of this video, you'll see a link to more information about that monthly event, and a link to sign on and join in. The first one, if you're watching this live, you'll need to know this if you're interested. The first one will be next week, so next Thursday lunchtime. These meditations are aimed to happen at lunchtimes, so that you can get a deeper unwind, if you like, a deeper reset. Thank you very much for joining me. That's all for now. See you soon.